If you're watching this right around whenever it's being uploaded, I'm actually streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/sortacasual. I'll be streaming hardcore Minecraft for the next 2 hours, so if you do see this, I hope you go ahead and head over to that, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Alright, let's get into the video. From Adrian M. A lot of your videos have screenshots of your video's comments. Please, please, please make them bigger, or at least readable. Hug from Spain. Yeah, my thumbnail game is very weak, and I completely acknowledge that. I've been meaning to try to get better at doing that. It's just not something that I've really had the time or motivation to do. I have been, since this comment about a month ago, I have actually been increasing the text size, and I've also been trying to decrease the amount of text on thumbnails to try to make it easier for people to read. So I do hope that's gotten at least a little bit better, but I do eventually plan on trying to make thumbnails better. I've been at least posing more for them instead of just trying to take like a random screen grab that has like motion blur, 'cause I film in 24 frames, which means when I do this, it's really hard to get a still frame of the hand just being still. So I actually do have like a pose that I do in order to get the thumbnail now. From PH, it sounds like your capabilities vastly exceed what your current job requires. Maybe get a job that uses more of your intelligence, is more stimulating, / surrounds you with more people with a similar inclination. That's the goal. Man, I had high hopes for retail. So for context, my first management job I only spent 3 months doing at a movie theater. And then I spent a year and a half working in fast food as a manager. 11 months were spent as a shift manager, and the rest of the months were spent as an assistant general manager. During that time, I was responsible for a lot of things. I was responsible for hiring, for firing, performance valuations, write-ups, all of it. Like I was functioning like a store manager would have. I was in charge of inventory. I was learning how to like reach out to vendors and stuff. Like I was doing it all. And although I hated the company and the work environment, I loved my position. And my current job, I get paid a lot more. In fact, I'm about to get like a pretty good sizable bump. But my work is so dull. My responsibilities are that of basically what a supervisor would be, even though I'm classified as a manager within the company. It's really frustrating because I'm not like intellectually stimulated at all. There's no challenge for me. So I feel like I'm wasting my time there, but I'm also making so much more money. It's so hard to give up, and trying to find a job that will hire me at my current skill level for a similar pay with more responsibility is just not really feasible right now, especially considering how tenuous my entire balance for all my scheduling is. But I do agree. I do want that kind of environment, and I've talked to my girlfriend endlessly about my complaints and worries when it comes to my job and trying to find employment that I'm actually passionate about. And if I can't make YouTube or Twitch or the entertainment world work, I think well, at least what my girlfriend recommended was like doing like an office environment where I was a manager and I spend most of my time behind a desk like administrating and delegating, because that seems a lot more interesting to me than just talking to customers for most of my shift as like a supervisor. So yeah, I agree. I definitely need a change of pace. From the man, the myth, and the legend Bald Stanley. Dang, I sure don't fit in with today's job market yet. I should be retired, age 66, but enjoy what I do in retail despite the stress of toxic, negative workers and of course customers. My first full-time job lasted 34 years, which is unheard of. This current full-time retail job, my first ever in retail, has lasted 8 years and counting. College may be your biggest hurdle in asking yourself, do I need this degree? Look at the help wanted signs everywhere. Very depressing, isn't it? Personally, I would hold on to this job for a nice resume balance. That university prerequisite for a certain type of social recognition isn't worth it. Yeah, so I don't want a college degree for the social recognition, really. There is some value to me getting the degree, and there are some classes that are actually interesting to me. Now, I'm taking a math functions class, and I have to take accounting courses, and these aren't things that I have any passion for, any things I'll actually use. But there are other classes like business creativity and like principles of management, other things that I find to be really interesting that make it kind of worth it. Is it worth going thousands of dollars into the toilet? Maybe not. But I do think that there is value there. And I think that's also really cool being a YouTuber and then also having a degree, because you don't see as many YouTubers having that. So I think that's a really interesting thing to have. I don't know if that's worth getting the degree for, of course, but I personally think that's valuable enough to justify the stress that I go through in order to get it. And you're right. People don't stay at jobs very long anymore because companies don't have loyalty towards their employees. So why would employees have loyalty to the companies? You know, we don't really have like the unions. We don't really have pension programs. And companies will typically fire an employee once they hit like the Peter principle, or once that employee like caps out their certain pay rate and they realize they can hire 2 people for the price of 1 that can do a similar amount of work for way less pay. When you look at all those factors, people don't want to stay at their jobs for a long period of time. I'm of the personal opinion that if you spent a year in a position and you haven't moved up or you haven't gained anything, it's time to move. I'm getting closer to hitting a year in retail. in my a little bit over 7 months, I've accomplished a lot. And once I hit a year, I'll have a really nice resume of what I've done in that job. And from there, I can either decide if the next pay bump will be worth staying for, or if I move on to another company and try to either get more responsibility or higher pay or whatever it might be. I don't believe in staying with one company for a long term unless that company gives me a good reason to want to stay. And as far as things have gone so far, this company that I'm working for is not giving me enough reasons to stay at the moment. So once I hit that year, I'll be looking around, just seeing what's out there. If I don't see anything, I'll stay. And if I do see something, I'll leave. And it's really that simple. From Clear Vision, very well said video. And I can relate a lot to hurting others because of my own pain. Keep up the good content, brother. Yeah, it was a bad habit from my early to late teens that I had fallen into, mainly from what I had viewed in a certain side of my family. I was emulating a lot of the behaviors that they had because that's what you do whenever you grow up. And only looking back on it was I able to understand just how manipulative that I was and how much gaslighting that I would do and how much I would hurt those around me. And thankfully, I've grown up and I've, become a lot more cognitive of the habits that I used to have, and I don't do those things anymore. And that's why I'm now able to surround myself with friends, and I'd never have to worry about, oh, am I going to hurt these people? A lot of my habits involve me pushing people away because I didn't want to hurt them. But the act of me pushing them away actually caused the hurt, whereas I could have taken the chance and maybe it wouldn't have ended that way. But I've lost so many friend groups. I've lost dozens of friends throughout my life just through me being a complete idiot. And I'm not exaggerating the numbers here. I mean like actual dozens. And it sucks that there are people who'll never get the chance to reconnect with and talk to and reconcile with. But what I just try to do is I look at the people that I have in my life currently, and I try to do my best to make their lives a happier existence. I have friends like Grace, and I have obviously my girlfriend like Tate, and I have my volleyball partner Molly, and I have all these people in my life that I do actively try to make them happier or try to just like spend time with them. And I think that those things they really help make me feel like I'm making more of a difference than trying to be depressed about all of the friends that I have lost as a result of my idiocy. And I haven't had one of these comments in a while, so I thought I would go ahead and feature it from Moco Loco. You ever consider scalp micropigmentation? It's great because it gives you realistic hairline and it looks like you have a nice head shaved. And this is on a video from I Vlogged for a Day, which actually I really enjoyed making, by the way, but that's besides the point. My dude, that video had absolutely nothing to do with my hairline. I don't know why some people think that they should just like comment about it and just random videos. It's not the platform for it. I have a ton of young balding videos on my channel that you can scroll through, and it would make more sense to make those comments on those videos. But for some reason you're picking like random ass videos for that. I get you probably found me because of my young balding content. I can totally understand that. I'm happy that you're here. What I'm not happy about is when people just like randomly mention it in the comments. Like, I'm not insecure about my hairline. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't give a shit. But I don't want it to be the main focus of who I am. I want it to be a part of it. I don't want it to be the main focus. And people try to make it the main focus with comments like this, and I just think that's not really valuable to my comment section. The only reason I didn't delete is because I wanted to be able to feature it in the video, but generally I'm just not interested in seeing those kind of comments here. So just for future reference. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, as a reminder, as this video is uploaded, I will be streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/sortacasual. I would encourage you to go ahead and check it out. It's a great way to interact with me. If you want to go and leave comments in the chat there, I'll be responding to them in real time. If you enjoy the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, and do not forget to keep it casual.